doing today? Welcome into the Vital Axiom. We're going to get kicking it here in a few minutes. Right now we're just jamming on the keys, waiting for people to show up. Better strap yourself in today, Dodie, because thanks, David. Because we're gonna get down to it. We're gonna get down to the nitty gritty today. Show today. I'm so pumped. I don't know. All kind of stuff going wrong in the world, in my life. Not in my life, but stuff in the church. We got issues we got to work on. But Jesus is Lord. Amen. Okay, I think it's time to get this show on the road. Get down to the nitty gritty. Well. Here we go. Good morning. How you guys doing today? Good to see you on the Vital Axiom. Today's number 674. We've been hanging around here for a while, boring a lot of people. And just, no, seriously, having a lot of fun with you guys. You guys are the bomb. So many of you jumped in. There is Isaac Houston. What's up, Isaac? Good to see you, bub. And first time I think I've seen you on the show. Maybe not. Maybe I can't remember. Hey, Lynn and Kim and Jason. People from everywhere, Florida and... I'm going to get, and there's Mike Gover. Can you believe it? And Rhonda's here. Rhonda, how's that little girl doing? How's she doing today? Allison's going through chemo and radiation, getting ready for a stem cell transplant. She needs our prayers. What's up, Pickett and Toby and Bob and Pamela and Kaner and Stuart and Carol and so many people. JD's here and Renee and Larry Doty and David. What's up, David? Is that Canada is in the house. And Alan's here. What's up? Hey, Kathy. Paxton's back in. Hey, Lynn from Florida. Luann from Big Stone Gapin. And is that everybody? DJ's here. Joyce is here. I love to go down the list and see who I was hanging out with me. So many people. Saw Denise over on Periscope. Kim's here. And Jason, I don't know if I missed anybody. Probably did Becky, Pilkington, and Sandra. And they just keep on coming. I got to figure out who this is from Russia on here. Send me a message. Something in English because I can't read that. Dobre, what is it? Večer, I guess. It's Dobre utrom here, but Večer there, I guess. And we're going to get down to the nitty gritty today. I'm going to bring it home. We're going to talk about this selfless thing, and I'm going to really kind of jump over. We pretty much finished the message from last week, but last night was the third edition, and we're going to bring that edition on in for the next 2 days and talk a little bit about something that, thank you so much, Lynn. Yeah, we got problems with heat pumps and problems with sprinkler systems and all kind of cool stuff. Isn't it fun to have problems? Just gives me a chance to find out that Jesus is Lord. Having a bad hair day, I don't know. It just is what it is. Y'all ready to worship a little bit? I think I might get a drink of water before I start. In my gravity cup. That's our youth ministry. You guys ready? Hey, Lisa, what's up? Let's do this. Let's worship together. Father's love, destined to die, poured out for all mankind. God's only Son, perfect and spotless one. He never sinned, but suffered as if he did. Father's plan. You're sending us out, the light in this broken land. All authority, every victory is yours. By the blood of the Lamb, the word of our testimony, everyone overcome. And we will overcome by the blood of the Lamb, the word of our testimony, everyone overcome. Amen. He overcame by the blood of the Lamb. We overcome. Amen. Praise the Lord. Good to see you guys on the show. Thanks for all your sweet comments. You guys are the bomb.com and putting up with me and all my coughing and drainage. And some weird thing happened there with the electronics. You hear that big loud bonk? Sometimes it does that. MIDI signal got lost. I don't know what happened. Hey, guys, let's talk a little bit about selflessness. Selflessness. I want to talk to you about what I shared with the church last night. I wish I could get to all these comments. So many great comments. You guys are the bomb. And so many more people jumped in. I think I got music going in the background. I didn't get it all. There we go. So many more people jumped in. I see so many people. Wow, you guys are so awesome to have you on the show. Let's talk about selflessness a little bit. We've been talking about it for a couple of weeks. We've been talking about this. It started out with the Lord speaking to me. Don't tell anybody on the View. That He spoke to me in prayer, and he said simple words. Don't get lost. Don't lose yourself in self. Don't lose yourself in self. And I was like, what? Lose myself in self? How can I lose myself in self? And then I began to understand what He meant was that I can get so caught up in me that I really lose who God's called me to be, that I just get caught up in self-centered selfishness, all about me, all about whatever. And the Lord said, Wayne, don't you lose yourself in self. Don't get so caught up in Wayne Hager that you forget about who I've called you to be and what the real purpose of ministry is. I used to be on staff with a pastor, and this was his favorite statement. I would love the ministry if it wasn't for the people. And, of course, I'd say, Pastor, the people are the ministry, but sometimes we think the ministry, or Christianity is all about right here. The funnel ends right here. A big heavenly funnel comes down to my life, and I'm going to be blessed. But actually, you're supposed to be a channel where the Holy Spirit sends something from glory through you, not just to you. Come on. Anyway, so last night I took it another step. What good is this selfless talk if we don't make it practical, if it doesn't get down to where we really live? And today I want to talk to you about some of the most selfish things you can possibly do in your life. And yes, I have had caffeine, so just stay with me. Just kidding. Think about this. What defiles you? I want to talk just a little bit about being defiled. Defiled, if it's a word you don't understand, it means that we become corrupt or sinful, sin nature. And there's ways that we are defiled, and the Bible talks about them. Here's one, through the ear gate. What things you allow. We used to sing it when I was a kid. See, oh, be careful, little ears, what you hear. Oh, be careful, little ears, what you hear. For the Father up above is looking down in love. So be careful, little ears, what you hear. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. We used to sing that when I was in Sunday school. And the basic, I got the computer screen right in the middle of everything. Look at that. And the basic problem with that is that we can be defiled by stuff that comes in our ears and in our eyes. We can look at things and listen to things, pay attention to things that defile us. But there's one area, and our mouth can also be used to defile us on the end. But Jesus said, it's really more important what comes out of your mouth. What comes out of your mouth. And I want to talk to you about what I believe are some of the areas where you can truly defile your life and reveal your self-centeredness. And so here's what happens. The tongue defiles us with its output. So we're going to get there. We're going to talk about your tongue today, so just chew on it for a minute. We're going to talk about the tongue and its output. If you go look in the book of James, James really laid down a lot of reality about the tongue and its power. He even said, let me jump. I'll get there. First of all, Matthew 15:11, Jesus says, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man. What's coming out of your mouth? I don't think it means vomit or saliva. I think it means conversation and talk and the things that you say to people. I think that's what it really means. It means what comes out, what things you say. In the situation, Jesus is talking to the Jews. So Jews are really focused on what you eat. If you've ever heard the term kosher, kosher means that a food has been approved by the church, the Jewish synagogue, the priest, that you can eat it. So they were really big on what went in. And Jesus said, I'm going to tell you something. How about what comes out of your mouth? What he was saying to them is, you're really focused on, I don't drink and I don't chew and I don't run with those who do. And Jesus says, but what about the conversation that's coming out of your mouth, the things that you say, the way you talk to people? He kind of pointed it out. He kind of got serious about it. And we look down in Ephesians 4:29, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good, to the use of edifying. Now we're talking about people now. You're edifying someone else, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. So now, if we're going to talk about self-centeredness, if we're going to talk about selflessness, let's make it practical. Are you self-centered And can we just listen to what comes out of your mouth and find out? If we were to take a log of what comes out of your mouth for 7 days, everything that come out of your mouth, would you sound self-centered or selfless? Ouch. That kind of brings it. That's like bringing it right where we are. Let's look at the word, let no corrupt communication come out of your mouth. The word corrupt means rotten or worthless. Rotten or worthless. You know, I've told a story for many years about a minister, a famous minister came to a church I was on staff at in South Carolina. Famous guy, well known in certain circles. And he came there, and he just seemed, I don't know, arrogant to me. And I ended up having to take him out to eat because, the guy who was over the conference had a death in the family or something. I can't remember now. This was the rudest man I've ever been around in my life. I have never heard anybody talk to a waitress the way he did. And I was ashamed and humiliated. And you know what? I couldn't listen to a word he said from the pulpit anymore because, you know, out of his mouth, all this filthy, rotten communication. He wasn't talking perverse. He was mean. He was cruel. And so I want to make sure that we, hey, a bunch of folks jumping in today. What's up there, Jason and Adam and Perry and Natasha and Chris? Good to see you guys on the show. So let no corrupt communication come out of your mouth. Let me read it again. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying. Is what's coming out of your mouth edifying people, or is it crucifying people? And it goes on to say that it may minister grace unto the hearers. Does your conversation minister grace? Your conversation minister grace. I want you to think about that, because are you defiling your own life and revealing your own self-centeredness just by what you say? It's possible. It really is. James says we can make large horses go wherever we want by the means of a small bit in their mouth. And a small rudder makes a huge ship turn wherever the pilot chooses to go, even though the winds are strong. In the same way, which means you can control your tongue in strong winds. Even the same way, the tongue is a small thing that makes grand speeches, but a tiny spark can set a great forest fire. The tongue is a flame of fire. It is a whole world of wickedness corrupting your entire body. I told you, it defiles you on the way out. It defiles you on the way out, corrupting the entire body. It can set your whole life on fire, for it is set on fire by hell itself. Those are some pretty strong words. People can tame all kinds of animals, birds, reptiles, and fish, but no one can tame the tongue. It is restless evil, full of deadly poison. Sometimes it praises the Lord and the Father, and sometimes it curses those who've been made in God's image. And I want you to think about this today. We've been talking for 2 weeks about being selfless. So here's where we can really look and do an examination in your conversation. Are you a selfless person in that you refuse to abuse with your tongue? And it goes on in James 3:10. And so blessing and cursing come pouring out of the same mouth. Surely, my brothers and sisters, this is not right. Go to church, you know. Oh, Jesus, my Jesus, I love. I know thou art mine. You go to church and sing all that, right? And then you go right out and just let people have it. You go out and talk coarse jesting, and you go out and you're rude to people and harsh, and you degrade. I mean, I want you to think about what comes out of our mouth. It's important. James 3:10, James 3:11. Does a spring of water bubble out of both fresh water and bitter water? No. Does a fig tree produce olives, grapes, vine produce figs? No. And you can't draw fresh water from a salty spring. So I want you to think about that. What's coming out of your mouth? If we're going to do everything to the glory of God, if we're going to do everything we can to be selfless, then we have to include our tongues. We have to do that. I hear so many people say so many things, and I'm like going, but I thought you were a Christian. I can't believe what you're saying and how you're saying it. And the real test comes when, when he talked about that rudder in the sea and is turning that ship. The real test comes when the storm comes. What comes out of your mouth? What comes out of your mouth toward people when you get pressed, when your buttons get pushed? What comes out of your mouth? And it's an instantaneous revelation of your selflessness or your self-centeredness. And I want you to think about that today. We're running out of time. It's amazing what we can accomplish with the tongue, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. And I want you to be thinking until tomorrow about your tongue. Anybody ever told you that? Any preacher ever told you that? Think about your tongue. I want you to think about that. Is it being used more for selfless or selfish activities? Your tongue, that's right. Is it being used more for selfish, I can't even talk, shellfish, no. Selfish activities, or is it being used more for selfless activity? Is it edifying or crucifying? What's it doing? What's that tongue in your mouth doing? I don't know if you know or not, but it's letting everybody know where you are. Maybe you should let it tell you where you are. Okay, guys. I've hammered you long enough. Time to get on the trail. I love you guys. Y'all have a great day. Y'all are thebomb.com. Thanks, Janet and Eden. I guess it's Janet, but I don't know. It might be Aaron. What's up, Kaner? Thank you so much. I love when you guys give comments. Dad always told me to chew up my words before I spit them out. I love that. Hard lesson learned and still mess up. Come on, man. Love you, Mike. Miss you. We gotta come. Oh, you gotta come hang out. I know you're a long way. Have a good day, Rhonda. We're praying for Allison. I'm going back. We're going to jam and go. Love you guys. See you in the morning at 11:30 a.m. on the Vital Axiom. We'll be doing 675. 675. We're out. I don't know if I'm stepping on toes or stepping on tongues. Have a blessed day, Lisa. You guys are late. We're leaving. We are on the exit ramp. Take the exit in 300 feet.